President Biden, meanwhile, speaking today at a NATO summit in D.C. It could be another high-profile test to help save his re-election campaign.
Yeah, let's bring in Robert Moses right now with all the details. Robert.
Yeah, Kurt and Rosanna, people will certainly be watching to see how the president handles those unscripted moments with these world leaders. The president contends that because he has helped to strengthen NATO, he is better suited for the White House than his norm-shattering opponent who has called NATO obsolete. That, though, has not quieted the president's doubters who fear he will not beat Donald Trump.
It looks to me like he may very well stay in. He's got an ego, and he doesn't want to quit. He doesn't want to do that.
In his first interview since the debate on June 27th, former President Donald Trump predicted that President Joe Biden will stay in the race despite mounting Democratic calls for him to drop out following his disastrous performance. If President Biden does step aside, the former president sees Vice President Kamala Harris being the nominee.
I don't think he wants to get out. But if he gets out, it will be her.
Minutes after the Fox News interview aired, the White House released this letter from the president's physician, Kevin O'Connor, confirming that a Parkinson's specialist, Dr. Kevin Kennard, examined the president at each of his annual physicals. Multiple media outlets had been reporting that Kennard visited the White House 8 times in as many months, but the White House press secretary repeatedly stonewalled reporters who asked if he had examined President Biden while he was there.
I'm not going to share people's names from here. Has the president been treated for Parkinson's? No. Is he being treated for Parkinson's? No, he's not. Is he taking medication for Parkinson's? No.
I am not going anywhere.
The president remained defiant in an interview on MSNBC and in a letter to congressional Democrats. He lashed out at members of his own party, like New York Congressman Jerry Nadler, who have called for him to bow out.
I don't care what those big names think. If any of these guys don't think I should run against me, go ahead, announce for president. Challenge me at the convention.
At a brewery in Wilmington, North Carolina, First Lady Jill Biden sounded just as resolute as her husband.
Joe has made it clear that he's all in. I am all in too.
As President Biden greets NATO leaders in Washington later today, former President Trump will be at his golf club in Doral near Miami to hold a rally tonight. He is expected to name a running mate sometime later this week. That's according to his senior advisor, Jason Miller. Kurt and Rosanna, back to you.
All right, thank you so much.